Volunteering opens opportunities to collaborate and discover passions and talents that make us awesome. Join me, Michael Schwake, Key Creative Chief Technical Officer, as I introduce Jack and Aidan, two volunteers who, as a part of the Key Intern program, help make our headquarters in Edmonton, Alberta, a great place to create your awesome. Stay tuned. It's time for Key Talks.
So we're back for another episode of Key Talks, and we're going to keep talking today. We have another great episode. I'm super excited for this one. You're going to see Mike exit the room if you're watching. If you're not, Mike has left to the green room because today Mike is one of our guests. Yay! Welcome. So we have Mike here, and we also have, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, so we'll just give that a minute. But Mike's here. He's going to be sharing about our Key Internship project, which isn't often talked about. We've posted a little bit about it on our social media, so we're so excited to talk about it today so we can share with our community, our listeners, our viewers a little bit about what it is. So we'll let Mike talk about that, but maybe first we'll have you guys introduce yourselves. So Jack, go ahead.
All right.
What's your name and age? And yeah.
All right.
Start with that.
Let's get this started. My name is Jackson Lucas. Most people call me Jack. I'm, as of now, 24 years old, which I turned about a couple of weeks ago. And I'm really excited to be here. I've been associated with Key Creative and, to a lesser extent, Young Masters for about almost 5 years, actually.
Awesome.
So it's pretty exciting to be here, and I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you so much, Jack. We're so happy to have you. And Aidan, do you want to introduce yourself, maybe your name, your age, and anything else you might feel you want to share?
My name is Aidan Mackenzie. I am 25 years old, and I've been with Key Creative for 4 years now.
Yeah. So you've been an intern for 4 years, and I've actually known Aidan since 2012. He's been part of our Young Master Club program, and you were one of my first, I guess, students that I helped one-on-one. And Aidan, I don't know if you know this, but that was a really important and meaningful time in my life when I got to teach you. A little short story before maybe we get into the internship program is, so Aidan and his dad, Lloyd, started participating in the Young Masters Club. And I had been volunteering for a few years at that point. But when Aidan came in, there was just something about you, Aidan, that I was excited to help you and teach you and learn from you. And one of the big things in Taekwondo is learning the fighting stance. So we always get into the fighting stance with fist, chin, elbows in, and then you put one leg in front of the other, and it's always supposed to be the right leg that goes forward, which that is, and it's very common that most people will put the left. That's a very common thing, that instead of putting the right, people will put the left. So you have to correct them because you want to have the right leg forward. So like many other people, Aidan would put his left foot forward. And I thought, how could I remind him to put his right foot forward? And so Aidan, you may not remember because this was 11 years ago, but I put a sticker on your foot. And so whenever you would whenever we would say fighting stance, you would look down, see which sticker the foot was on, and you knew to put that foot forward. And it worked. It worked every time you knew what foot to put forward because of that sticker. And eventually we took the sticker off and Aidan remembered to put his right foot forward. And it was such a proud coaching moment for me, and I was so proud of you as my student. And now, and I was a volunteer at that time, so not that I'm running the class, but as me helping you one-on-one in that situation. And now you're a red belt, black stripe, and have been participating for years, and is also helps coach some of the younger groups as well. So super grateful and happy to have you here, Aidan, and to have you as part of my life. So thank you for being here. So Key Internship Program. Deanna, I know, what do you know about the Key Internship Program?
Not that much, to be honest with you, but I do know that Mike is generally the main ringleader of that program. And I know that they get up to all sorts of different big and little things around the office, probably at least once a week. And I know you've got a lot of good things to share about that.
Yeah. So with the internship program, it's a volunteer internship program that we established as kind of part of the key citizenship program that John was trying to kind of get off the ground around, I think, 2014. Yeah. And so what we were looking at is what are some of the ways that Key Creative can give back? And so with all things where we're inspired by the things that are around us, John was very much inspired by the Young Masters program. And one of the students who had been in there had been looking at ways to kind of build up the resume, work on specific job skills. And so with that, it was okay, well, we could have some volunteer work that you could do around the office to kind of supplement various things that the team needs. Yeah. And so with that, our first intern was Vincent, and he was getting ready at the time to go into his communications program with Grant McEwen. And then he got into that, and then basically started off working with us in that capacity, kind of doing everything from data entry to just some small maintenance things around the office. We worked on some of those soft office skills, email communications, stuff like that. And he had really been working hard on just trying to build out those things that you don't necessarily get as a part of some of the other opportunities that are out there. Because one of the things that is a bit of a requirement out of the people who are participating in the program is that we're all persons who have our own challenges, and we're persons of all abilities. And so even myself as the coordinator, I have multiple learning disabilities. And so in my mentorship role, I'm able to kind of extend my own experience in dealing with challenges. And so with that, that's where there's the mentorship, there's the skills that I can help and support. I use get to use some of my teaching skills and not just my tech skills. So that's kind of where it started. And so with that, Vincent worked with us for about 3 years, and then went on and was doing other things with a pharmacy and some other programs. And then now, prior to the pandemic, we just, because you guys came in right at the tail end of Vincent's work. Yeah,
that is true. I remember it pretty well.
Yeah. So Vincent even got to do some kind of leadership in helping direct the guys.
Yeah. So Jack, you got to work with Vincent here as part of the internship program. Yeah.
I don't remember much, but I remember that I did do it. And if he's watching it, well, if you're watching this, it's nice to say hello.
Yeah.
And sorry, I don't really remember much, but I at least remember working with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, and so with that, and then so I guess in a way, Vincent was our first graduate, and then from there, the persons that we use in terms of for the program as the volunteer interns are persons who are already invested in other capacities. I know John's been approached multiple times about other persons who are looking for specific programs where things don't necessarily fit the standard mold of working on certain skills. And so
it's usually someone who's been involved in maybe in one of our adventures, maybe a former client, someone that we've been connected with in some way as part of our community here at Key Creative.
And someone who's willing to kind of work with us to build out something, because in a way it kind of indirectly works as a little bit of coaching, works as a little bit of volunteer stuff. Like we do maintain that they are volunteers. It's not like a standard internship, but with that, it means that our interns are able to build out those skills that they find important to themselves, so that they can gain confidence and, learn the things that in other experiences aren't always there, because, like, it's very much a no-fail environment. Like, if we have a challenging day, like we still like kind of push through and we take what learnings we can, because sometimes in a traditional work environment, that's not something that is always available for persons who are special needs.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. You've said a couple things that stand out to me that I'd love to chat a little bit more about. And one of them, you shared about your learning disabilities as being one of the strengths to help support them. And then it also made me think of your skill in empathy, and that brings a different level of empathy and understanding to be able to be a mentor or a leader in this type of role. So I really appreciate how you're able to bring that skill and that strength into your leadership. For those of you who don't know Mike, he is an amazing, surprising, beautiful, and powerful person. And it is really my honor to be able to say that and sit here with you and share that. And he is so talented. Mike does so many things for our team. And so I feel very grateful that you're able to share some of that with them, and that you, Jack and Aidan, are given different opportunities that you likely wouldn't have if you didn't have Mike. And I say that because Mike, he's our chief technical officer. He has a teacher's hat. He has a coaching hat, and roles that he plays. He does a lot of our security management here at Key HQ. He's really a go-to for many different things that may come up for different coaches. If you talk to any coach, he's probably the most dependable, reliable, hardworking person that we know, and we're so grateful. So, Aidan, Jack, how has Mike been as your mentor?
In my case, I say pretty positive. I felt I've been learning a decent amount of skills and practicing a few ways, like different strategies when it comes to cleaning, learning a few computer-related stuff. Like I learned how to do some advanced searches, for example. I've also, one time when we had another woman to help us named Maddie, speech-language pathologist, we thought of some ideas like practicing some recipes to cook, because I figured that'd be kind of useful for me, because, I kind of like to cook, and never hurts to you can never have too many skills. You never know what might be useful to you in whatever occasion.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Jack. Yeah. And so, Mike, what do you feel has been your greatest success or achievement with this program?
Well, it's something that, while there's a lot of things that I do support with Key, there's a lot of things that, with each week to week, I want to make sure that I'm providing valuable programming for both of you guys and previous participants. And so that requires a lot of creativity. Yeah. So with that, like there are those things that we do that are kind of like just part of like the general ebb and flow of things. But then also like, working on specific curriculum, building out things about like stuff that I have challenges with. Like one of the things we did more recently was working on like decision making, and like for anyone who knows persons with ADHD, we have challenges with executive functioning, and that can be a challenge for a lot of persons who are neurodivergent. And so it was a matter of like building a proper little curriculum for that, giving kind of like soft tools around various ways to learn about it, and then seeing where there might be opportunities for that. Because the reality is like a lot of these things, we don't think in kind of like a more than small conceptual. We just like, for a lot of people who have normal you just do. And for those of us who are neurodivergent, it's something that we need coping strategies. And like, this is something like, you know, I've more recently been like, you know, revisiting a lot of my strategies, because like I've been helping my mom who has Parkinson's, and there's a dopamine deficit with that. And so it can impact some of those things. And so like some of the things that I take for granted, or even like stuff that are skills that Jack or Aidan have built over the years, we don't necessarily think of them all the time.
Yeah.
And so building skills like that can really, you know, be impactful to make sure that we're effective in other parts of our life. And so stuff like that was probably my most like rewarding thing that we've done recently, because, you know, it was very pertinent to myself and others, and kind of building these things from you know, a very fun and creative way. Because like one of the things like as a teacher that I learned is you can't teach anything just one way. You have to do it a multitude of ways, because people learn differently. Like the reality is like, you know, some people might need to be moving around. We have our coaches who we have mastermind and they're up on their feet the whole time. And then there are some people that like, they need just the visual, they need just the auditory and those things. And then also the strategies themselves have to be adapted to that. And so that's something that I really enjoyed, because it was like a you know, a little thing out of left field that I needed to build out. And it was really cool. And then there's been a lot of little things like that as well that they're really rewarding. And, you know, we'll see where it makes like real impact and whatnot. But yeah.
So how often are you guys here? How often do you come to Key Creative as part of the internship program?
We go here every Wednesday. In my case, it lasts from like around noon to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Aiden comes a little later and leaves a little earlier. But that's usually how long. Pretty much almost every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Unless if it's a specific occasion, like a holiday or something that's out of our control at the time, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once Young Masters kicks in, because the day that we've chosen to do this is on Wednesdays, what we'll actually do is it'll be a bit of a longer day for the guys, and they help with getting everything set up for the Young Masters program, which is the program that kind of fed them into this. And yeah, so they'll be part of that. It'll go later till about 8 o'clock.
So Aidan, I'm curious, what's your favorite part about the internship program? Do you have something that you like about it, that you enjoy? What keeps you coming back on Wednesday? What do you like about the internship program?
I come because I mostly like to earn good lifelong skills, like how to work, to a chance to meet new people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. I'm kind of in the same, like, you know, new experiences and so on and so forth.
And the thing about our office is that we don't necessarily have set office hours, right? So I know sometimes you guys are here, it's just the three of you, but there's always people coming in and out at different times. And I know you've gotten to meet most of our team and team members. So
Yep. One of them I've even known before I even got here. So
okay.
there's that.
Yeah. And I know I always enjoy coming in and seeing you guys, because I knew you from Young Masters Club, but being able to see you here at the office and you helping us out, I've just felt, you know, very happy and grateful for everything that you guys have done. Yeah. I had a question that I wanted to ask. So we know you come here on Wednesdays, and the Key internship program is part of your lives. You've been doing it for a few years now. What other things do you guys like to do when you're not here at the internship? And maybe, Jack, you can start.
As for me, I actually have a lot of hobbies and interests. I have a couple pets I like to take care of. I recently got a cat that I've been taking care of named Beans, but we call her a lot of names. I have 2 dogs, Charlotte and Chewy. I often walk them around the neighborhood almost every day. It's a decent exercise.
Awesome.
I do a lot of things, some video games, reading, watching TV. I go to a few league events frequently. I'll do a bit of cleaning. I'm the kind of guy who pretty much takes any opportunity I get that piques my interest and have a little fun with it. You know what I mean?
And you're a great artist.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, you're an artist. And what type of things do you like to draw?
A variety of things, mostly a bunch of characters, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of relax, and I have like a bunch of sketchbooks. Like I have 4 filled out, and one I'm currently working on, 2 I haven't even touched yet. So
Really?
yeah.
Have you ever made up your own characters?
I have been thinking of the idea. Like I've been thinking of mostly a bunch of ideas, but I haven't really sketched anything out yet. So it's mostly been in the idea stage.
Yeah, so the characters you sketch usually come from where do they come from?
A variety.
What's your inspiration?
I don't know. Kind of depends on my mood. Like, I don't know, whatever would be interesting. Like, I don't know, drawing like a Looney Tunes character because Looney Tunes is funny and be fun to do. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's usually just whatever's relevant or if I'm in the mood. That's kind of how it is.
Cool. I love that. And how about you, Aidan? What do you like to do, or what do you do when you're not here at the internship program?
I like to read.
You like to read. Do you have a favorite type of book series, or what type of books do you like to read?
I'm a big Hardy Boys fan.
Really? Isn't Hardy Boys like from way back in the day? Am I right? Does
Yeah, that's
anyone
pretty
know?
classic series. I
That's
would
a
say.
classic
Yeah.
series. I feel like my dad read the Hardy Boys. Would that be?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, Aidan.
And they even have like more up-to-date ones as well.
And now they have more up to date. So have you read, how many of the Hardy Boys books have you read?
I've got some of the old, I've got some of the new.
Okay. Some of the old and some of the new. And what do you prefer, the old or the new? Which ones are you enjoying more? Do you have a favorite?
The newer ones.
The newer ones. They have, okay, very cool. That's awesome, Aidan. And are you also still involved in Scouts? I know that was a big part of your life for a while. Is that still something you're involved in? No. I know back in the day, that was something that you spent a lot of time at as well when you were part of Young Masters Club. So cool. Thanks for sharing.
And another
Aidan.
thing I know that Aidan is usually telling us about when we have our lunches kind of to start things off. You like reading Batman comics as well. And then he also is a big crossword fan.
I saw you doing crosswords. Yeah, that's awesome. So where do you get your crosswords from? Are they from the newspaper? Do you buy the books?
The ones I bring in are a Christmas present.
Oh, you got them as a Christmas present.
Nice.
So you have to know a lot of things to be able to do crossword puzzles, don't you? I think so. Like, to me, I don't know if I'm someone who knows a lot about a lot of things. So crossword puzzles can be very intimidating to me. So Aidan, you must know a lot about a lot of different things, I would say. Yeah. So the word awesome is a big part of our brand, or big part of our culture, I should say, more so our philosophy here at Key Creative. And we define it as something that's amazing, surprising, beautiful, and powerful. And really, I think even more specifically, it's respect for something that's amazing, surprising, beautiful, and powerful. I'm curious, Jack and Aidan, what does awesome mean to you?
All right, I think I'll go first with this one. For me, there's like a few multiple meanings, like that feeling of satisfaction when you get like a very hard task done. I feel very awesome getting that done.
Yeah.
Or an awesome feeling like we're very relaxed and you feel like serene and peaceful at the moment. So for me, there's like a bunch of different meanings, but those are the two that kind of stand out to me the most when it comes to awesome, like a feeling.
A feeling, like that feeling of awe or inspiration. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Jack. And you, Aidan, what does awesome mean to you?
It means showing the world what I like.
Showing the world what I like. I think that is such a great way of looking at awesome, because I know for Key Creative, it's about creating and sharing your awesomeness and not being afraid to do that and to just celebrate who you are and what you have give to the world. I love that, Aidan. Thank you for sharing that.
Celebrating people's all their individuality and like you know what that means, because we all have challenges, we all have different ways that we overcome it, and like celebrating that as really a part of making some really good positive growth. Yeah. It actually reminds me of like one of the cool things that we added to the Young Masters program was we're having a challenge where, you know, you guys have helped with coaching this before, is like, you know, a lot of the kids don't know how to properly make a fist for a punch. And so I had seen a different Taekwondo group they were like, who's the best? I'm the best. And I was like, you know, that's a little cocky. Let's do something. Let's take a spin on that, because it was actually still a valuable lesson of making sure that you put your thumb in the proper place.
Yes.
They were like putting thumbs out, then tucking it underneath.
Yeah.
And so I was like, who's awesome? I'm awesome.
I love how you have incorporated that into the Young Masters program and have used that in part of the warm-up and just throughout the whole class. And just as I'm thinking of the Young Masters Club, we mentioned that you two have been part of it. Aidan for 11 years. Jack, you've been part of it for five years. And you guys are also both part of the leadership program as well. So you come to do your internship, and then when Young Masters Club is in progress, you then are part of supporting and leading the younger Young Masters. And then you do your own class. So that's a pretty huge commitment that you've made to Key Creative and to Young Masters Club. That's pretty awesome, you guys. You're welcome. Cool.
Do you guys have anything from like the Young Masters, like some memories you maybe want to share? Like,
for me, I've had several memories. I've made a lot of friends there, had a lot of experiences, learned a few things. There's a lot of things I could remember. Several friends I've made. Some still, some not anymore, but I managed to get in touch with them the best that I can.
And how come you feel you've wanted to continue with the leadership program?
I guess it's a variety of reasons. One, it's good exercise, so that never hurts. Two, I feel like I'm in a bit of a sense of a community.
Well, and with that leadership, that's something that, like, you know, throughout we try to give the students an opportunity for ownership over that. But like, as you get to it higher about like Aidan, you've been a part of kind of being a leader and model for the classes for quite some time. And so that's really good. What do you think, Aidan, about like, you know, what are your favorite parts of leadership?
Just showing people what I've learned.
That's so great. And Aidan, I think that's one of my favorite parts of having you as part of the Young Masters Club is that you represent growth. And also, I think you're very inspiring in terms of your commitment that you've made over 11 years and earning your red belt, black stripe, and your whole family participates. The Mackenzies are an incredible group of people. And I think, Aidan, you really inspired the way for your whole family to be part of the program and a part of our community, which has been so great. So thank you for that too.
And now both of his parents are leading class.
Our leading class, yes.
As well, so.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have, Aidan? How many siblings do you have?
3.
You have 3 brothers, right? So there's four of you. Yes. And they're all part of the program, the Young Masters Club. Yeah.
Do you remember what year it was that Accessible Media came to document Young Master Club? It was a few, I'm going to say maybe 4+ years ago.
Yes.
But that was a feature of Young Master Club, and Lloyd and Aidan were in it.
That's
and
right.
To this day, you can still see that like feature on our Adventure Club website, and they're still inspiring like new generations of participants coming in, which is amazing.
Aidan, do you realize that you're inspiring other people? No? And you are, and I love that you recognize, though, that part of your role is giving back and showing other people that they can do it too. That's inspiring other people and probably hundreds of people, especially with that feature. And thank you to them for doing that feature and to the Mackenzie family for being part of that.
Yeah, no, it's been really awesome to have all of you. And then, even though Jack hasn't been a part of the kind of key and Young Master family for, as long, the one really cool thing with him is he was actually the one student who helped Wolfster do when we had our small south offshoot of the Young Master Club.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like before you were even an intern, you were helping out with so that we could kind of expand things. Unfortunately, that kind of changed after the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks for mentioning that, Mike, because Jack, I don't know, and I maybe haven't shared this with you, so I'm going to say it now, that you are probably the friendliest person that greets us at the Young Masters Club. When we come in that door, myself and my two kids, and you're the first one to say hello, to make my kids feel comfortable, to play with them, to have fun. You're really one of those people that cheers other people on and makes them feel welcomed and included and part of something. So thank you for being such an important part of building our community and making people feel safe. So I want to ask you, like that part of you that's so welcoming and friendly, is that something that comes naturally to you?
I think it might have been that, or maybe a combination of how I was raised. I mean, I've been raised with some pretty good parents, and I've known some pretty good people throughout my life. I don't know. I just generally am nice to people because, I want to feel good, and it makes them feel good.
And it really does. Like the other thing I've noticed that you do, Aidan, and Jack, I'm not sure if you're aware of, is that you validate other people, which what I mean by that is like if someone's feeling a certain way or expresses something about themselves, like a discomfort or not feeling comfortable, you always find a way to say, hey, I can understand why you would feel that way. Like I felt like that too. And I don't know if you know that, but you're really good at being able to help people feel comfortable with their feelings.
Empathy can be a strength. What can I say?
It is a strength. It's 100% a strength of yours. And it's a skill. Like to me, empathy is not something that, necessarily just comes. It's something that is a skill. And you definitely have that. And I thank you for that.
And that's really like something I think that's valuable from like what we're doing in terms of who we are as, mentor interns and kind of like following that inclusion model, because the reality is the people who are going to know the most about the challenges they're going through are ones who have challenges themselves.
Yeah.
And we have like, I think on the mural, we have like we all face challenges guys at the top of the mountain.
If you haven't seen the We All Face Challenges video, it's on our website. It's really an awesome animated video of who we are, what we do, done in a very playful stop motion chalk art. And yes, our character is on our mural.
and so like it really shows that value of inclusion because you work in the environment, you make the most impact because it's where you're going to be experiencing things like real life. And so what better than modeling the way that you overcome yourself for others and like celebrating that. And another strength that even though sometimes everything goes according to plan, Jack has a tendency to be able to celebrate even then too. So usually,
and that's an important part of being a key team member is being able to celebrate, whether it's something small or something big. And we definitely celebrate you two.
And Aidan is very resilient. He's able to typically put aside things that are challenging as well. So it's like two different sides to it. And that's something you model for the young kids and something that they can just kind of pick up on. So that's what's really important in terms of like some of the work that they get to do beyond just the stuff in the office here.
Yeah. And I think like the thing you said earlier, Mike, is that it's not just anyone who gets to be a part of this team and have an internship placement, let's say, or be part of it. You two have really earned your spot as interns. And not only have you earned it, you've given so much, I think, in that role, whether it's been smaller tasks to bigger tasks to creative ideas and exploration. You both have committed 100%, which can be rare to find, right? So you've definitely earned your spots as interns, and we celebrate you. So here.
Oh, I was saying I could do an entire episode on its own about empathy.
Yeah.
And if I was updating Adventure Club website the other day, and it said that Young Master Club has been serving families since 2005.
Yes.
Long time. We're going to be almost 20 years now when you think about it.
I know. Wowzers.
But I remember just like this like that Taekwondo program, Adventure, has a lot of staying power, I think, because of how we have that empathy and sensitivity as like a core of how we instruct and teach other people. And like I always come back to the quote of how it takes a village. And like it's not just a Taekwondo class where you learn your punches and kicks and then head out at the end of the day. Like people have stayed and we take the time to get to know everybody, and to me it's like in a deeper, more patient way, and that makes all the difference, I find, and probably which is why our students come back to be leaders.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and we do have quite a few students who have been part of the program for the Young Master Club program for a long time.
So yeah, I'm so grateful for everything that we've heard so far and shared so far, but now it's time to look to the future.
Yes.
So Jack and Aidan, what are your future goals and dreams? And they don't have to be in like the internship program itself, just anything that comes to mind.
As for goals, I wouldn't say an exact answer. In terms of here, figure I just see how this goes and see where it takes me. Feel like I'm making a lot of progress. Like I've been with another program helping me learn some employment stuff, and I've been applying a bunch and haven't been getting much of results, but it's kind of helped me cope with the anxieties of the uncertainties that I get in life, and figured I'd see where life goes and see what happens. So I'm just going to live in the moment and just see where it goes.
Awesome.
Nice. And Aidan, like what are your sort of future goals and dreams from the internship program or just in your life right now?
Trying to find work, but that pays well. To learn how to drive if my parents let me. I want to hopefully get a house of my own someday. I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainties right now.
Yeah.
But, building up that confidence, which is something. So,
What type of work are you interested in, Aidan?
I was considering an office job.
Yeah. And what types of things would you be interested doing in the office?
Typing on computers.
Okay.
Nice.
And do you, like when you say typing on computers, can you take something that someone's written and type it out for them? Or what type of typing?
Type up important projects.
Ah, okay. You've heard it here. Aidan is looking and Jack are looking for work, right? And I think, the internship program is something that has supported them in getting different skills and knowledge around an office place to support them in doing that too. Thanks for sharing that, you guys. And Mike, what do you see for the internship program?
well, one of the things that I see is like this is an opportunity for them to work on some of those skills, and really I look for ways that they can graduate. Because like we already had our first graduate of the program, but kind of like supporting them in ways that they can feel and kind of like, you know, tread the waters here lightly so that eventually they can swim. And so like, you know, so it's something that you have to keep working on. Like I know Jack has been working on with like other opportunities to build out, you know, the confidence of being able to apply. You know, he's been doing some interviews and stuff like that. Yeah. And the thing is because like there's only so much that we can do here, and really it's about giving them that confidence so that they can. And then the hope would be is once they graduate, then there might be other opportunities for other persons who have been involved in our programs who are looking for similar opportunities. Because, you know, that's something that we were looking to do with this when we first started out, was like our way of giving back. And like, you know, we're, you know, a small group, the three of us and whatnot. And, you know, it's a lot of direct work with them. So at that, you know, we don't do it as like a big class or something like that. It's something where they're able to kind of like work one-on-one, work on their leadership skills, directing each other, working together, cooperation. And so trying to find opportunities like that. Maybe one day, similar to like Vincent, you guys will be directing the next class of interns. And, you know, as you move towards your new opportunities. And then, yeah, other than that, like other ways that we can kind of embody that spirit that really inspired the key internship program with the key citizenship umbrella of like looking for new opportunities for us to give back and contribute to our community. And that's, you know, this was really one of those opportunities where we took John's philosophy of like, if we don't have a way of kind of supporting you in the way that you're kind of expecting, maybe we can work together and build something like that. And that's been what we've done here, and hope to do more of that. And yeah, really help people grow, help Key grow, help the community grow.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel like we seem to have a penchant for finding needs and gaps and making amazing things like Young Master Club or interns, and then just the way people exponentially grow from there.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I think so. Feel very proud to be part of that. And that way of doing things and seeing things and cultivating things. So Aidan and Jack, this is kind of a big question, and one that I think is important for people who are looking for a place or an opportunity to work or have an internship. What message would you give that person who's searching or looking for this type of opportunity?
As for me, in my case, it never hurts to ask for help, like asking people you might know would know about this kind of stuff. That's kind of one of the reasons how I got into this internship in the first place, because, well, I asked John for a job opportunity, and this is kind of how it started. So
that's great self-advocacy.
An initiative.
So, yeah. So all you need is a little self-advocacy, and it never hurts to try to look. You know what I mean? That's all you need. Just find some sources. I mean, with the age of the internet and research and all that, it's become a bit easier. Like, there's people who know, you can find stuff.
Yeah.
So my advice is just a little self-advocacy and do your research.
Do your research. I love that. And Aidan, how about for you? What message would you give to someone who's maybe neurodivergent, has autism, and is sort of feeling they're looking for something, somewhere that they can be and be included?
Well, go out there and really see what the world has to offer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We're happy that you're here also, and we look forward to seeing you around the office. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Oh.
Let's whoosh it out.
Yes, let's whoosh it out.
3,
2, 1.
Whoosh.
Yes. Awesome.
Key Talks is a project of Key Creative. We hope you found this episode informative, thought-provoking, and enjoyable. To learn more about the topics covered in this episode, visit our website at keycreative.com. That's QICreative.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please consider leaving us a rating and review. It helps other people discover our show and lets us know what we're doing right. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time.